Congress has been bought and paid for by the wealthiest 1% of Americans. We're talking about major multinational corporations with billions of dollars in profits. The wealthiest 1% of corporate CEOs have used their financial influence to literally buy off members of Congress through campaign contributions and campaign spending overall. And so the rest of the 99% of us, those who are working for a living, those who are unemployed and looking for work, those who are struggling with foreclosure, who are dealing with the issues of everyday life, have now been forced to take to the streets in order to really take their Congress back from the 1% that have taken it from them. The practical solution here is to remind the members of Congress who they work for. Remind them that they were elected to represent the people of the United States, not to represent corporations, not to represent CEOs, to represent the people of the United States. And those who are struggling to make ends meet right now in this economy are fed up, and they're not going to take this abuse anymore. And they're reminding folks, people are motivated. They are taking to the streets. They're sitting in congressional offices. They are ensuring that their voices are heard by our representatives. And they're sending a very clear message. We're not going to take this anymore. And if things don't change between now and November of next year, there's going to be hell to pay at the ballot box for those politicians who choose to side with the 1% over the rest of us. So MassUniting is a coalition of labor, community groups, unemployed workers who are all from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. They're joined together to advocate for good jobs, corporate responsibility, the issues that we really need to be working on to ensure we have stronger communities. There are about 250 people that came down from Massachusetts on the bus, joining with thousands of others from almost all 50 states here across the U.S. To literally take back the Capitol. And there's a full week of action. Yesterday, folks went to meet with their members of Congress. Almost all of them were turned away. Scott Brown was a good example. In Massachusetts, we had over 100 people go to Scott Brown's office. He was in the office, but refused to meet with his constituents, the people who elected him. And so today, those folks who sat in at Scott Brown's office all day and waited for him and weren't heard, those folks then took to K Street, the center of lobbying power in the United States. This is where all of the corporate headquarters and all of their corporate paid lobbyists do their day-to-day work trying to control Congress. Those activists, thousands of people took to K Street, literally shut the street down and took it back for the 99%. Again, to remind people who this country is actually designed to work for, who Congress should be working for. And they're just getting started. There's still 2 more days to go this week. There's going to be continual actions, again, to remind people exactly who these members of Congress in Washington were elected to represent. You're going to hear some very, very common themes amongst these thousands of people who have taken the streets in Washington, D.C. They are talking about wanting our members of Congress to focus on job creation, to focus on the economy, to focus on ensuring that the programs that we all depend on are fully funded, to not cut Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, to extend unemployment benefits for those who are struggling to find work in this economy. That's what our members of Congress should be doing, not catering to the wealthiest 1%. And you're going to hear thousands of people's voices ringing clear in the streets of Washington, D.C. over the coming days, sending that message. It needs to be about jobs, not cuts. It needs to be about representing the 99%, not the wealthiest amongst us.